when we're young and we sit down, we picked up the guitar for the first time, and our friend comes over and goes, "Hey, dude, I know this cool shape. It's called A minor pentatonic." And your friend would be right. It is A minor pentatonic, but it's also C major pentatonic. These are the notes of a scale, and this lowest tone has nothing to do with the name of the scale. It's just one of those notes. And I'll give you a good example why. Here's some of those notes. Well, those are the exact same notes, and the lowest tone is G. It has nothing to do. Well, I'm not going to call that G something pentatonic, and then this is A minor, and then this is C major, and this is D something. It's all C major / A minor pentatonic. How do we differentiate? How does our ear understand the difference? It only does when the harmony behind it starts to give us a clue. If I play C major and play our standby shape, sounds like major to me. What if I put A minor in behind it? Sounds like A minor to me. That's what's going on here, folks. It's not about this being A minor anything because of this note, okay? It's just one of 5 shapes. That's a beautiful thing. We can see now all the notes of the scale all over the neck and really have command of all the notes of C major / A minor pentatonic anywhere on the neck. I've known friends and students who have literally just stuck with one or 2 shapes for years and years and years. And of course, they come to me and say, I'm in a rut. And my first response is, I wonder why. Anybody can learn the 5 shapes of pentatonic in a matter of a few weeks. It is not rocket science at all. Okay? So with that said, now we know major and minor pentatonic are the exact same scale starting on different tones. That's all. When I was younger, I was having a problem just like everybody else, remembering the shapes. And I was starting to learn basic harmony, and I knew I needed to see the major scale, not just major pentatonic, but the major scale as well. And I thought, what are the different ways I can look at this? And of course, I was shown some different things, the conventional shapes, 3-note per string, and I'm not negating those in any way, shape, or form, but what I came to that worked for me is I thought, I'm going to take major pentatonic and use it as a frame to see the major scale. And so I can give you some examples. Let's start in the key of G. That way, this lays out really well. I can start with the lowest shape and move through all 5, and you can just see them consecutively, whereas I wouldn't be able to do that in C, for example. So here's root shape. That's what I call it. And I wonder why I call it that. It's because it starts on the root. And I said, well, that's root shape to me. And it's root shape no matter what key I'm in. It doesn't matter where I am on the neck. If this is B flat, then I'm playing root shape of B flat major. I don't even need to know the names of the notes except the visual guide tone. That's what I call it, a visual guide tone, which, by the way, you can see on both E strings as a reference. So here's D flat, play root shape. What are you going to have? D flat major pentatonic. Very simple. So let's go back to G. And I said, well, I've got that figured out. Now, what if I move up to the second tone of G major and play that shape? Oh, well, simple. I'll call it second shape. Makes perfect sense. And what I realized, what that had to mean to me right away, though, is that this note represents the second degree of some major pentatonic scale, right? If I start on A and I call it second shape, it has to be the second of this key. Okay, so if I move that around and I go up, let's go up to D and say, hey, Dana, play second shape there. Okay, I know what the shape looks like. How do I figure out what that is? Well, I know that this is the second degree of some major scale. It's the second degree of C. So I was playing C major pentatonic right there. And again, just like with root shape, doesn't matter where I put it on the neck. It's always second shape of some key. I started on C, it's the second of B flat. Start on E, it's the second of D. So I was playing D major pentatonic. It's that simple. And I really do think that's simple compared to a lot of possible other ways to look at things, or no way to look at things. I've had friends and students throughout the years just, they know these shapes and they have like certain connectors, I call them, And then they'll, go to that shape and maybe know it a little bit, but that's not owning these shapes and understanding what they are and how, how they're set up. So we're now, what we're doing, just to make it simple, is we're using the scale degrees of the pentatonic scale, which is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. There's no fourth in this scale, and there's no seventh in this scale. Pentatonic means 5 notes, and the 5 notes are 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So ended up with root shape, second shape, guess what's next? Third shape, fifth shape, and good old sixth shape, which we know is minor pentatonic. So you want to know the 5 shapes. And not only of major pentatonic, but as we get into more advanced modules, dominant pentatonic, which is maybe my favorite shape in the universe. And it's it's just a 1-note change from major. So it's almost as simple. It's 1, 2, 3, 5, flat 7 instead of 6. And it's 2-note per string, just like major pentatonic, so you can learn all 5 shapes. And are they a little more difficult? A couple of them are. And that's all there is to it. But you know what? Once you know those 2 pentatonic scales, you're going to see them as a frame for 2 7-note scales. And I'll just go over that 1 second. Here's G major pentatonic. The G major scale has 2 other notes in it, the 4th and the 7th. Those are called active tones. Well, major pentatonic doesn't have the active tones in it, okay? But it works perfectly as a frame, and I can add an active tone when I want to. don't think 7-note scales anymore. After over 50 years of playing, I don't think 7-note scales at all. I think these pentatonic shapes, and I add active tones to color, like I salt my food to taste. It's just exactly like that for me. And the next one thing I want to talk about is what's so beautiful about seeing visual guide tones from their scale degrees. One thing that's great is we see them up the neck in the same key. That's really good, and so now we can do that with any key, right? Beautiful. But what's even better is that when you want to start diving into playing in different keys, you can use visual guide tones in this way. Here's G major pentatonic. Now, what if I want to play in F? There it is right there. Did I move anywhere? No, I'm still using this note, this visual guide tone. How about E flat? How about C? And how about B flat? Well, so what I did, ascending up the neck using each scale degree, now I did just staying right here and saying, oh, this is the root of a scale. It's the second degree of a scale. It's the third, the fifth, and the sixth. And all of a sudden, now I own 5 keys right here. And guess what, my friends? If I go down a half step, there's 5 keys. If I go up a half step, there's 5 keys. And so there's 15 keys without moving any more than 1 fret in either direction. And it really works. Here's G major. Go to E major, Dana. Go to A major. B flat. E flat. C. It's all right there. But not just right here. Here, 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 here. All the way up. E major, G major, B major, F major. It's all, I'm sorry, it's all right there. And there's no more doing what I call chasing roots and jumping around. I know G major here. Uh-oh, I went to the key of E flat. Can you imagine what that does in the world of improvisation when you're maybe you're creating a cool line here? Because this is the only place I know where to play this. We don't want to do that. So, major, minor, dominant, pentatonic tools that we use in improv blocks, and there are other modules available from Fretboard Freedom if you want to dive into the rabbit hole and go a little farther.